A very good afternoon. It is the 17th of July 2025. So let's discuss this guy, Bobiwine. By now, East Africans know him. He's a very popular musician. He's a very popular guy, and he's one of the most likable politicians in East Africa. But let me begin by saying this. He is vying for presidency in Uganda in 2026. And he has been doing some very good campaign, and he's going against a guy called Museven, who has been there for about 40 years. So when this guy Bobiwine was born, that is, he was born in 1982, and Museven became president in 1986. So you can see the difference. Museven became president when this guy was just 4 years old. You can see how awkward that is. But let me talk about the activities that this guy is doing that is very good, not only for Uganda but the entire Eastern Africa, but the entire basically sub-Saharan Africa. So he's going against an established dictatorship that has been there for about 40 years. That is the Museven leadership that began in 1986. And this guy does not have finances. He does not have financial muscle to go against an established dictatorial regime. But this is what he's doing. I think last week, if not last week, then the week before last week, he launched his program, the campaign, and he was encouraging the youth to come for the political party, for his political party's certificate to vie for whatever position that they want to vie for in Uganda, basically the entire youth in Uganda. And he was urging them to come for the certificates, and the nomination certificates, that is, he said it will be free. So it has never happened in any African country that nomination certificates are given for free. It's basically a source of finance for the party. So the party sells the certificates and the nomination certificates and the positions to whoever has more money than the other, so that they can get the finances to finance and to help them campaign, so that they can get the money to help them campaign. That is. So Bobiwine has decided to give his party nomination certificates for free, especially again to everybody, and especially to the youth. And he decided now that given that he is giving these certificates for free, that he will urge, or he will ask all Ugandans, whether in Uganda basically, or whether outside Uganda, to contribute to his campaign kitty. Now that is one of again a very brilliant idea from an African opposition leader. It has never happened in Africa before, whatever all these things that Bobiwine is doing. So he also visited political prisoners, and he's encouraging basically the youth also to vie. Whereas his opposition, the guys who are opposing him, the NRM led by Museven, are encouraging guys as old as 86 years old to vie. You saw the MP was shaking. He was sitting and he was shaking. That guy is seeking to be re-elected at the age of 86, and he's using Museven's political party to urge Ugandans to vote for him. Now that is very awkward. So this guy, let us support him. Even as a Kenyan, I feel like I'm obliged to support Bobiwine, to encourage him, basically online, or even even when you are in Kenya or any other African country, you can still contribute to his campaign kitty, and I will surely contribute. So let us support this guy, because he's trying to change Uganda as it was. Uganda is basically stuck where I will say Kenya was in the 90s. Uganda is very dictatorial. The guy that is president right now in Uganda has been there for about 40 years, and he wants to continue staying there. And maybe after that, he wants to, after his time, he basically wants to hand it over to maybe his son, or one of his family members. And right now his son is basically the head of the Ugandan People Defense Forces, the head of the entire military in Uganda. So you can see it's basically a kind of a monarchy, but they say Uganda is a democracy. Uganda is still is not a fully fledged democracy. They have been suffering in dictatorship for about 39 years now, and we have a very young, brilliant, upcoming, very popular musician, Bobiwine, who is trying to show, or trying to expose Ugandans to the sweetness of democracy, and the sweetness of having to change leaders after every maybe 5 years or even 10 years. And because of us staying breeds a lot of contempt and a lot of dictatorship, and a lot of underdevelopment in the country, where we see basically you can see what is happening in Uganda. not only in Uganda but even in Cameroon and in many other African countries. Guys, you know, staying there and you know, holding hostage a whole entire population and a whole country just for their own, you know, selfish reasons. Cheers.